really love you.
Ditto.
It was really a fantastic, unique journey and a beautiful love story. Really compelling and different from anything that I had ever seen, and very risky because this could have fallen flat and not worked because of the fine line that it rides.
The message is not huge. It's not like a message that slaps you in the face. Most people have a problem with that last little bit of commitment in a relationship. You know, either they can't say I love you because they feel they say it all the time, or it's overused, and that's this character's problem. You know, Sam, the relationship with Molly, Demi Moore, is very loving and very caring, yet there's that one last little edge that he's not willing to commit. Every time she says I love you, he says ditto. Turns out that God says he's going to have to work this out before he goes to heaven or hell, and he'll decide where he's going, I guess.
Lonely riverside, wait for me.
The love story is the heart of this, and it's the core, and everything else works around that, and that's why it works. You know, you go into it in the first 10, 15 minutes, and you know, you really are enjoying these two people who are in love. And so you want to go with them, you want to see what happens. And when he tragically and violently is killed, you know, it's like it does a complete, you know, 180, and it takes you into a whole nother level. And yet you walk out of this film so uplifted, and yet our two people aren't together, you know? And I think that's really the genius of Jerry that makes that work.
I hate a film that is obviously trying to manipulate my emotions. And that's one thing Jerry very specifically tried not to do. He tried to tell a very real love story and not get morbid with the death part and everything. It was a very, very difficult role for me to do. I went into it naively thinking, oh great, I get to do a comedy, I get to laugh. Whoopi got to do all that stuff.
Why don't you just find a house to haunt, you know? Get some chains and rattle them.
I believe that we are spirit. That is what keeps us full and rich as human beings, and that when we die, I'd like to think that it goes somewhere. It's nice to think that it might be into a warm, loving, embracing place where the love does go with you.
Unless you're one of the bad guys.
Unless you are one of the bad guys.
I needed to do a movie that by the time it was over, my insides would feel good. You know, and I'd done 2 action movies in a row. I like both of those films, but didn't come off of them with the same kind of feeling that I had coming off of Ghost. You know, I felt coming off of Ghost that I'd done something worthwhile. It gave me a passion again about my work from the point of view that you really can return something through your work. You really can give something to people, and it was wonderful to be inputting something into people that was very positive, you know, making, you know, such wonderful statements about love and people caring about each other.
It's amazing, Molly. The love inside, take it with you.
I'm very critical. It's nice to see it a couple of times to kind of get to make sure that I'm looking at more than just me. But I feel that I can be fairly objective and have a pretty good sense of myself and what could have been better, or what could have, you know, what take might have been better. I enjoyed, and I'm really proud of my performance in this, and so it's enjoyable to watch for me.
You know, nobody knows whether a film's going to be really successful or not. Just like everybody's saying that Ghost is going to be huge, and all the test screenings, the audiences are going crazy and they love it. And I think it's the first movie I've ever been in that critics and the press love, you know. Almost blanket coverage, everybody seems to love it. And I think the biggest thing about the movie is it's got such heart. It has such wonderful things to say about love, and it's the kind of movie after it's over you want to go, you know, go hug your wife or the lady you're with, or the person you're in a relationship with, or your kids, you know. It has such a neat thing to say about love and taking the love with you after you die.